called Simon Kenton, but it should be called Simon Cooper. The Cooper family at Simon Kenton, they account for 10 of Simon Kenton's 27 state wrestling champions. And we have one of the, I don't want to say the notorious Coopers, but one of the members of the Cooper family with us today. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
My name's Greg Cooper, and wrestled for Simon Kenton and graduated 2002.
And you're the 152-pound state champion from Simon Kenton. And like we said earlier, Simon Kenton has a phenomenal wrestling tradition. 1987 team champions, two most outstanding wrestlers, Dave Barnes, 1988, and Casey Cornett in 2017. 27 individual, and the Cooper clan accounts for 10 of those. Brad in 01, 02, and 03, you in 02, Kyle in 04, Neil in 05, Austin in 06, Austin videos on the channel, and then Kevin in 11, 12, and 13. So we ask Austin this question. I'll ask you the same question first is, man, what is it about the Coopers in wrestling? What's the secret sauce there, man?
Must have been working on the farm, I guess.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. So outside of the farm life, how do you find wrestling? What gets you into it?
It was just a good time to collaborate with other people, work hard, and just have something to do outside of staying at home.
No, I get it. I mean, I completely understand, and even we're close to the same age. I think you're a year or two older than me. We graduate. I think if you graduated in 02, I graduated in 03, so you're probably a year older than me. But hearing the stories, talking to other people from the Northern Kentucky area, the wrestling clubs, the youth wrestling, elementary wrestling, even middle school wrestling was a lot more prominent when you guys were young. Well, the Northern Kentucky area had a lot more clubs than what was around the rest of the state. There were a few spread out. For the most part, your Cincinnati area, Northern Kentucky had a lot of clubs and teams and all that. So the kids now just don't understand. When I say kids, I'm talking, high school age youngsters and down, don't understand that it just wasn't like it is now, where there's an organized state duels, there's an organized middle school state tournament, an organized youth state tournament. Basically, if you did have matches, you were going to get destroyed by a high schooler because there was no, most of the teams you went to didn't have a middle school program. If you competed off season, it was pretty much just, let's pair you up with the person closest to your weight, no matter how old they are, and just, have at it. Hope you come out unscathed. Hopefully we don't have any injuries or whatever. But
Right.
About what year, what age grade did you start wrestling?
I think it was about fifth grade.
Fifth grade? And see, nowadays, if you go back and you look at our state, we're filming this in January of 2024, but if you go back and you look at the state champions from last season, like, Braden Blevins, we've got him on the channel, and the state champions, all 14 state champions from 23, very rarely will you find anybody that made it to top of the podium that started in high school or even started in middle school. Most of the state champions, I would have to imagine, started elementary school, early elementary school, and it's only going to continue, and the sport is getting better. Kentucky wrestling as a whole is raising, their levels. Like we had the Rainey brothers go out and do great things. Fargo, Istanbul, Turkey, I believe, and not just them, but just our collegiate wrestling right now is Thomas Moore with Ryan Moore, Mayer, Cole Thomas. We go on and on with those guys that's come top. Those Northern Kentucky guys. The Northern Kentucky area just produces year in, year out good guys. Outside, like you said, working on the farm, what is it about the Northern Kentucky area that you I guess that you see or is like sets them apart from everybody else?
Well, takes into account the individuals, right? You got the people that are working hard every day, working at these clubs, bringing their kids in, and then once they really get invested into it, really get really invested into it, then they become coaches, then they become leaders. And then once you have that spreading out, that grouping of people taking on a higher leadership role in different counties and different areas, and that's why the Northern Kentucky area grew so well, so fast, and it's because everything's spread out. And then next you know, once you do the ground level work, the youth programs, the middle schools, and then next you know what, high schoolers have it, and then next you know, the new schools come up, they also have a wrestling program. And so due to that structure being built up over time, now you got a wrestling program in Thomas More, which is pretty exciting.
Not just with Simon Kenton, but your Connors, your Riles, your Covington Scotts, your Campbell counties, all those Connors, like I said, all those schools up there, like you said, they've kind of filtered out, and the lessons learned from your Campbell County Mike Bancamper, your Rochelle's at Rowell, your Bedittas at Connor, everybody associated with there's too many people to name at Simon Kenton. But like you said, it's a good analogy. They've kind of filtered down, they've kind of branched out into other parts of the Northern Kentucky area, starting clubs, starting middle school, or just club teams, whatever it is. And it's great to see, and it's showing off. You know, you look at the elementary state placers, the middle school state placers, high school state placers, that little area, Boone, Kenton, Campbell, they're going to have a lot of people in the top 8. It's just the way it is. That's the way you guys do it up there. But let's go over your state tournament run. 2,000, 152 pounds. You get to the quarters, you run into a gentleman already on the channel, Billy Redmond out of St. Xavier. You come down to the consolation rounds and run into Kevin Rodriguez from Wayne County. 2001 though, 152 pounds. You come in 3rd place, and let me pull up your bracket here because I've got it. I didn't get a chance to print off. I'm doing everything off my phone. You make it to the 3rd place match, and you're wrestling. Now remember this is going to come in important here just in a little bit. You run into Buddy Dodd from Wayne County, and you get a pin over Buddy, 4 minutes and 51 seconds. So not bad as a junior, 3rd place. Now, is Brad your brother or your cousin?
He's my brother.
Okay, so you saw, you got to watch your brother win a state championship there in 2001.
That was very difficult. I was supposed to be in the finals match along with him, right next to him, but there's a couple of slip ups during that first loss.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's I don't want to say never let little brother outdo you, but we'll talk about this in a second. But man, it had to be fun. I don't want to say exciting, but I can see the oh man, we should both be out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was the goal at the beginning of the year, to both be in the finals, both win it at the same time. So
I got you. And also in 2001, you also had Chad Dalton in the finals, correct, at 145?
Yeah, that's correct.
Because he wrestled Derek Mullet. If I'm not, because rest in peace to Derek. Derek passed away, and that memorial video is on the channel. But of course, Chad won it in 2000, and everybody, because whenever we done Derek's memorial video, that was the talk of the state was Derek and Chad meeting in the finals. Everybody kind of knew that was going to be a given, and that would have been cool for Simon Kenton to have all 3 of you guys in the finals, man, flexing the muscles a little bit. But I guess it just wasn't in the cards that year. But 2002 though is your year. 152 pounds. You were Simon Kenton's varsity, 152 pounds for 3 years in a row, which is saying something. But you start off the state tournament with, and I thought when I first read this, I was like, this cannot be the right name. But you're wrestling Johnny Jabrowski from Anderson County, and you win that by a fall in 1 minute 10 seconds. And the reason I say that, and I'm not, Johnny, to you and your family, I'm not making fun at all. But when I read that, I thought it said jabroni, like The Rock used to say on professional wrestling, you're a
Yeah.
jabroni, whatever. I saw that and I was like, that can't be right. But it's Johnny Jabrowski from Anderson County. Like I said, minute, 10 seconds in the first round. Second round, you're wrestling a Northern Kentucky foe, Matt Rice from Campbell County. You win that by a 5-2 decision. Did you wrestle Matt any in the district? Or I guess this will be the first year for region. So did you wrestle him in the regions?
Yeah. Yeah. We hit. So actually, the top three, me, Jeremy Lovell, Matt Reese, we were all wrestling in the Northern Kentucky all the time, wrestling each other all the time. So um, for 152, Northern Kentucky was the place to be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You get to the quarters, you're wrestling Eric Burrell from LaRue County. You win that by a fall in 2 minutes and 37 seconds. So two wrestlers that you didn't meet in the region, you get pins over, but the wrestler that I guess you saw a bunch, 5-2. So I guess you guys kind of knew each other. He knew what you were good at, right? Kind of
Right.
filling
Yeah.
each other out.
You wrestle each other so many times. You already know your habits, you know what's going on, and so that kind of just makes it even tougher as you go on. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, and especially in that second round, man, in doing this series, there's been a lot of dudes that have slipped up that were going in expecting to be in the finals or, ranked, whatever. They get to that second round thinking it's going to be a cakewalk and they run into somebody they don't know about. And it's like, oh my gosh, you find them, they get beat 7-4 or just something crazy, or it's like you said, a 5-2 match against somebody that you've wrestled 100 times in your life. So it's kind of like, man, alive, that second round, if you're not on top of it, buddy, you can be, looking at a no placement or at best third if you don't bring your 110% A game. Like I said, you beat Eric Burrell in the quarters, 2 minutes, 37 seconds a pin. Now, earlier we talked about Buddy Dodge. You get to the semis, you're wrestling Buddy Dodge from Wayne County, and you win that, man, by a squeaker, 5-4. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that was a very tough match. Those guys from Wayne County like to do their upper body throws, and so do I. Did a lot of sambo freestyle, and in the summer. So I was there, but being my last year in the quarterfinals, and I was taking it really easy, and that's why it was really so close as 5-4, because I was kind of taking it easy, and if you're too indecisive, then that could also cost you the match.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, were you did you train and work with in the summer Joe Neely in his Sambo camp or Sambo camp?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time with Joe Neely in the summer. We did a lot of national tours.
Mm-hmm.
So, Billings, Montana, New Mexico, and Louisiana. So we did a lot of trips.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie. And, we were out there, I think, every Tuesday and Thursday, going to different schools, so Simon Kenton, Kimmel County.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Northern Kentucky guys that have said, and we're talking I don't want to make people feel old, but, like Dave Barnes mentioned wrestling competing in Sambo with Joe Neely and Dave Barnes, 1988 state champion. Pat Martz from Connor did. You have. So it's, he's been, Joe was in the game for a while, man. Joe knew what he was doing. Plus, Joe was a Kentucky state tournament level referee for many years. So Joe had it going on up there as well. Had a lot of guys. He was able to say, hey, man, I anoint you with my Sambo knowledge. But you get to the finals. You're wrestling Jeremy. Now, help me with because this name can be pronounced a bunch of different ways. Is it Lovell or Lovell?
Lovell.
Okay, from Ryle. So you've got a Kenton County, Boone County border war going on here. Of course, We're not going to tell you the score. We have the match video, we have the face-off, and we have the medal ceremony. Now, off camera, you was telling me it's been a while since you've seen your state finals match.
That's right, and Joe Neely is one of the officiants on that match.
Yep, and I actually I actually had that in my notes to bring up. It looks like Joe Neely is one of the officials, and this is my as of this filming, it'd be my 18th year officiating, and whether it's working with kids, like I know their family, know their parents, whatever it is, and work with them a little bit in the off season, or just watch them grow up in wrestling. Whether if I know what school they go to or whatever, you just see them come out as a little popcorn fart size, and by the time you see them next, they're competing in the high school level, and you're out there officiating them, and you're like, you're watching them wrestle, and you're like, do what I showed you. Jump to the other side, run the half. So it can be a little taxing sometimes, not all the time, but when it's somebody that out there wrestling, you're just like, I've showed you how to run this half 100 times. Go under his arm, back of his neck, get a wrist, walk to his head, do that. But when you're out there on the mats as the official man, you got to be. You can't do that. So Joe's a great official, and he a lot of respect for Joe. I believe we're going to be doing a review video with Joe for his referee, and we're going to pick out a match that he done and do like a review with him just for the historic purposes. Okay. Now, earlier you talked about your brother being in the finals. Of course, Brad was in the finals in 2000, come up a little bit short in 2000, but 01 he wins it. You guys were there together in 2002. Does he come up and like give us that? Walk us through that time period of after you win your semis, you and Brad both are in the finals. What do you guys do? Does he give you any brotherly advice? Kind of walk us through that.
Oh, no, everybody's in the back area, the back common area, just warming up, bouncing around. So everybody's got their own mentality, trying to think through the match, trying to think of what's going on, what's going to happen. So, Brad wins his, and then just comes down and says, all right, you can do it. And that's about all you can say, right? It's the last thing you got. Put it on the mat.
Well, like, did you guys go back to your hotel room and rest? Did you go out and eat, anything like that, or?
Oh, yeah. You go back to the hotel and rest, and then, when the finals come around, then you go down to the gym and get prepped.
And the under the lights in the dungeon, man, it was just a special place, wasn't it?
It was pretty special. All that attention, all that heat from the lights, and you can just feel the noise and the vibration throughout the whole stadium.
And that's people that got to attend at the dungeon, or even the review series, which the videos, they're a great to see what you missed, but the atmosphere just can't be replicated. And that's something about being at the dungeon is you knew this was for all the marbles. This was the state championship final round. You knew this was the main event. The glow sticks, the beach balls, toilet papers, rolls, footballs, whatever wasn't nailed down was being thrown around. I mean, it was just an amazing atmosphere. So are you got they turn off, do the big light spectacle and all that. They had the music going, the jock jams back in the day. Kids, if you don't know what jock jams is, throw it in your Google machine. I'm sure your mom and dad can tell you all about jock jams. But the music's going on, the announcers, let's meet our finalists, and Brad comes out first. Are you guys because the way that you'll see the video, guys, you run out from opposite sides. Are you and Brad on the same side? Do you guys kind of talk to each other? Are you got your headphones on? Are you in your own little zone? I mean, how's that work? Because having a brother, somebody that you grew up with, it's only maybe a year apart in age that you've been to every tournament with, has to be comforting, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's you got your support structure there, right? You got your brothers, your family, your mom and dad, everybody's there to root for you. So yeah, it's very comforting to have a group of people there supporting you. But I can't remember if we were on the same side. We probably were.
I got you. Because I was going to, if it was, just me, and God knows I never made it that far, I can tell you. But if I had somebody that was either on my team or in my family or whatever, I would fight to be on the same side of the entry lines or the run out lines or whatever you want to call them, just for that, like you said, support staff, that support structure that you are familiar with. Hey, I'm not going in. I may be out there in this on the mat by myself, but at least there's a familiar face that I know I'm going to be in a house with, or I grew up with, knowing, hey, we're doing this, together. So we're going to pull up your match video, man. If you were never at the dungeon, it's hard to describe just the atmosphere, but this video gives a great representation, and we have other videos on the channel at the dungeon. Just the entire spectacle, man, was just something that we need to get back to at the horse park. And if you didn't get to attend a state finals, we know wrestling's growing. Teams are being added year by year, youth, middle school, and high school. If you never got to attend the dungeon, man, just enjoy these videos, listen to stories of like guys like Craig or anybody else that got competed at the dungeon from 96 to 2011, and just hear their stories, because it was something. But man, we've talked enough. Here we go. Come out of the shadows, man. I like that old school Simon Kenton warm-up you got on. That's cool.
Yeah, I had to dig that one out.
That's the top that Dave Barnes wears. That's just like a photo, I guess, hanging up in the Simon Kenton trophy case there.
Yeah.
I believe that's Joe on the whistle, correct?
Where's he at?
Here we go. So, from neutral, are we, like you're talking about doing sambo, are you a thrower? Are you
Not my normal matches. No, I'm not a thrower. I'm more of a takedown guy. And then once he gets you on the mat, just grind you down, get you over, and then pin you. So at this point, we've wrestled so many times that he's never done this to me before, ever. And then all of a sudden in the finals match, I think he throws me like 2 or 3 times. I think it's just 2, but yeah, we did that. It's just like, I
can't believe it, right?
Yeah.
So he's kind of got you in a front headlock there, and he tries like a bowling ball. We call it, where I'm from, we call it a bowling, like that pass by there.
Yeah.
Nice sprawl there. I was watching this. I cut that. I was like, that's a nice sprawl.
Yeah, like I said, we know each other so well. We're just trying to figure out how to catch each other and trying to find the slip up. But
right, no, I understand. Right there, nice takedown. So you get your 2.
But yeah, and this is here where I started working on the arm, pulling it out, putting it across the back, or trying to do a tilt at this point. I always had trouble with Matt Reese in Camel County because he'd get down here and I take him down and just keep moving and moving and moving. I just could never get a hold of him.
Right. So you defer. Was that automatic for you, or you just knew him that well to?
That was just my go-to, defer.
I got
the
you.
first round, and then usually go down when it was my choice.
Yeah.
Hoot.
Nice right there on his part.
Yeah.
He gets his 1. That's a good call by Joe. I want to, yeah. Were you guys the regional championship match the week before?
Yep.
Okay. There it is. Work up the body. There we go.
Yep.
Get your 2. So it's 4-1.
Right.
And of course, with you and Brad both being in the finals, like you said earlier, family, but like, are we like the whole family there, or?
Yeah, you can see Mom in the background. She's recording on the other side.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah.
Okay. You can hear the Simon Kenton fan section yelling for you there.
Yeah, we had a good group of people show up.
Looks like you're trying to like put a bar on his back there and like bump him over.
Yep. Yeah, push the arm across the back, scoop the head, and then push over. But yeah, and then of course didn't have enough time. The round came out. Yeah, the round stopped.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I picked down, so I can get out pretty well.
Cover. So you get your 1, 5-1. Now you're up here in the 3rd, 5-1. You've wrestled him, God knows how many times. Did it kind of set in? Okay, I've got the lead. Am I going to just kind of coast? Do I need to? Is he the type I need to keep the pressure on? I know he can, come back on me.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, you're feeling secure. You're feeling strong. I've already taken the guy down twice, and right there.
Oh, that's why I brought that up, just for that purpose, right there.
I already had him for a 3rd one right there. I was going to get it, but a little slip. I don't know if it was a slip, but just off balance, and he took me to my back. Which is
that puts it at
right?
6-5 now, and that's kids exactly why you finish the match. You don't stall around. You don't play around. If you can get the pin, get the pin. Don't stall, because even in the state finals, the best of the best can have just a temporary lapse, and there you end up on your back, and that could cost you. So,
yeah, it could have cost me the match. All you do is take. I took him down twice. He couldn't take me down easily in the last couple seconds.
And Craig, the reason I bring that up is I don't know how many coaches have come to me and say they set their youth teams or middle school teams down, and they watch these review videos to kind of learn the history, but also to watch Kentucky's state championship bouts. And we just want to let everybody know, hey, don't play around. No matter if it's the state finals or if it's just a regular Tuesday night duel. Take care of business.
Yep. So, yeah, that's like his 3rd attempt to throw me.
And you said that was something he just pulled out, pulled a rabbit out of his hat on, right?
He just kept trying to, yeah. He like I said, he never done it in any of the other matches, and it's always been a close match. It's always been a couple of points. It's always been tough. And when you get down to the finals, you're always thinking about what could happen, and then you kind of freak out and get thrown.
Yeah, I know it. And that was of course, it said your record coming in 25-0. You finished the season 26-0.
I think it was 36-0.
Oh, is that what? Okay, my
Yeah,
apologies. My bad. My bad.
yeah.
My bad. The like earlier, talking about the team sitting down watching them and that kind of stuff. Kids, take it from Craig. Take it from me. You can be thrown. You can be inside tripped, ankle picked, whatever. Not expecting it against somebody you've wrestled 100 times, and end up however many years later going, I can't believe I got thrown in the state finals and got beat, or whatever. There's Coach Bancamper giving. Man, I swear I love that warm up you got on. That is so cool.
Yeah.
And that's where this one ends. So watching it back outside of you winning, does the match kind of play out scoring wise and all that you remember?
Yeah, yeah. Should have watched it before because it's getting me pretty excited while I'm sitting here.
Yeah, no, and I'll send you a copy of it. That way you can have. I'll send you, like a Google Drive link or whatever. That way you can have it forever. And tell your mom,
No, thanks.
you gotta get that copy too, because I saw her there in the back. I wondered who that was. I figured it was somebody with one of the teams. I just didn't know it was your mom.
Yeah,
Uh,
she had a pass, so I think she did everybody's, and it was yeah, it was really neat. And she actually cleaned out her closet, and so I got a whole tub full of videotapes I gotta review and see which one it was.
wow, man, that's cool. That's in doing this, we post stuff on our social media. We've been able to find 36 of the 60 state tournaments that we've had so far. And I keep on posting, hey, if you have any of these years, you guys are seeing a list. You're going to see a list that I have, and you're going to see a list that I still need. So if you have any of the years that I need, please reach out to me. We have a VHS converter, DVD converter, even the VHS-C mini tape converter. We would love to get with you. We can meet you in person. You can mail them to us, whatever the case is. Even if you can convert them yourself to digital, we just would like to have them. That way we know where they all are, and we can meet with more state champions and do more review videos and hear more stories. That way we know the wrestling history for Kentucky is preserved in a safe and usable format. So you and Brad both win it. Frankfort, I'm not going to say it's a big city, but it's a respectable size city. There's some stuff to do. So did you guys go out and do anything after you won? Did you go stop and eat, or did you wait till you got back to school? I mean, how does that go when you got two brothers that win it on the same night?
Well, we have a hotel room, so we just went back to the hotel rooms and then partied up a little bit, hung out, did your hoopah hurrahs, and everybody's so excited from the whole day, for the whole tournament being over, and just having a good time.
No, I get it, man. And that's something is, I hate to keep sounding like a broken record here, but the sport of wrestling is growing at all levels, elementary, high school, middle school. I believe that we're at 138 high school teams in Kentucky this season. I believe that's our number. And the middle school and elementary and club teams, I couldn't even tell you how many we're at. I don't know, but it's a bunch. Probably well over 200, if not more. Maybe even closer to 300. But for the most part, wrestling is and has been kind of a closed community, a tight-knit community. And the people that know wrestling respect it. The people that don't really know it, all they know is what they see on TV with professional wrestling. But it is cool that certain, I don't want to say not all schools, but a lot of schools I go into is, whether it's doing review videos with people, going to officiate, or whatever the case is, you wouldn't even know they had a wrestling program, let alone state champions. And Simon Kenton has something that you guys, the school, I should say, really embraces, is your all's history with the team state championship, your individual, the photos they have of you guys there in that trophy case. I believe it's in front of the gym. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I thought. And so far, we've met with Dave Barnes from 88, Jeff Everman from 87, Paul Kaiser from 92, Austin of 06, Casey Cornett 16 and 17, and then Braden Blevins of 23. And it's, like I said, it's just cool that schools embrace the wrestling history, the wrestling state champions. And some schools, sadly, they don't even have a banner up in their gym for them. They maybe in the trophy case to have like just a little plaque, state champion, the year, not even a photo, just like a little plaque. That's it. Just a little $5 engraved piece of metal. And you're like, man, this is not the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? And the family aspect of it, of you and your brother and your cousins all being just synonymous with Simon Kenton wrestling, was the family functions fun to be around, like when you all were younger, just everybody wrestling each other?
Yeah, when we were littler, when we were smaller, once
I
everybody was
got
in the
you. No,
living
it's
room, it was just piles on, pick on the oldest cousin or pick on the youngest uncle, and then tackle him and bring him down,
yeah.
and then yeah. So, but when we were inside, it was wrestling. When you're outside, you're running around doing just about anything else.
I know, I get it. I think just about every whether it's boy or girl, if they're in wrestling, whoever it is, they're gonna find somebody to wrestle with. And I think that's one of the cool parts about the sport is just getting new people into it and just seeing just how exciting it can be, and just how once you get into it and you know what you're watching and you've got a vested interest, whether it's kids, family, neighbor kids that their dad or whoever it may be, you're just like, ugh. You can see new people come to meets and they're just like wanting to be out there on the mat, and you're like, oh, we got to go to the bleachers. I understand you want to film, but you gotta, you need to sit in the bleachers. You can't be on the mat. And
Yeah.
they'll come up afterwards and apologize. I'm just this is so exciting. I didn't realize how fun this was. But man, we've covered a lot of ground. We've talked about a lot of things, but do you have anything you'd like to add or say or anything of that effect that, you'd like to add to the video?
No, I don't think so.
All right, then, fair enough. Like give everybody, the opportunity. So Brad, Kyle, Neil, and Kevin, we need to get with you guys and do your review videos. We need to get the entire Cooper family on the channel. We want to make sure that we get as many people we can get with, but especially the entirety of the Cooper family, so we can just tell your all story. But guys, that's all that we have. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the mats.